So I want to talk about this article really quick because it's all starting to make so much sense right now. This author and journalist was having lunch with friends. There was a white guy and he's married to a black lady, and they were talking politics. And he says that farmers weren't worried about Trump deporting migrants because, wait for it, they thought because unemployment was so high for black people, that these black people would run back to the fields and do the jobs that the migrants were doing when they got deported. So she asked, where'd you get that information from? White farmer TikTok or MAGA Facebook memes? Where'd you get this information from? And her and the wife basically started giving him information, letting him know unemployment is only 6.8% for African Americans, and 93% of black people are currently working. Got so caught up in what they were hearing at Fox News and other places, thinking black jobs, immigrants are taking black jobs, that they just assumed they'd get rid of the immigrants and black people would take the immigrants' jobs. Sir, our ancestors did not march, die, and fight for civil rights so we could go back to the fields? What? But shout out to the Latino immigrant population that have mastered that labor with skill and stamina. This country doesn't even appreciate it enough. Oh, and by the way, when they do try to hire Americans, black or white, to do those jobs, most of them don't even last half a day. They just ghost them without even picking up their paychecks. True story. So y'all, tell me, do you really believe that they thought black people were planning to replace immigrants in that labor force if they got deported? Because I need to know who was smoking that logic. What do you think?
Yeah, folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel at Willie Doki Stories. If you're watching me for the first time, please consider subscribing. So, folks, a major debate is unfolding across America, and it's exposing deep division over race, over immigration, and the future of the nation's agricultural workforce. What do I mean by that? As major shortages continue to affect farms in several parts of the country, some black Americans have made it very, very clear that they will not be pressured into filing jobs simply because immigration enforcement has reduced the available workforce. The response has fueled intense reaction online and reignited conversations about fair wages, respect, and opportunity. Folks, in today's video, we'll examine the debate to discuss the role of John Boyd Jr., founder and president of the National Black Farmers Association, and explore how immigration policy, labor shortages, and America's farming industry has become increasingly intertwined. So, folks, let's get into it.
Hey, one more thing about that farm thing. Those farmers complaining about how the Trump's trade war is hurting farms. And not just China, even though China no longer buys U.S. beef, that's gone to Brazil. They no longer buy U.S. soybeans. They don't buy a bunch of other agricultural products from us because they can source them elsewhere. And these farmers are all over these apps whining and crying that they didn't think it would hurt them. And please, Mr. Trump, I voted for you 3 times, and all this kind of bootlicking kind of BS. The other thing about that is, like I said in my other video, excuse me, there's a particular relationship, black people and farms in this country, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. The other thing is, do you remember during the Biden-Harris administration, their administration worked out a settlement with black farmers to pay them back pay for excluding them from bailout money that they were entitled to. The money only went to white farmers, and so black farmers, that's the way it is in this country, had to sue to get their fair share. And after years of court wrangling in the courts and everything, it was finally settled and black farmers were going to get their due. Sorry, my allergies. And you know why they didn't get their due? Sorry about that. Because white farmers sued to block the government settlement that they had made with black farmers. And white farmers sued saying that the white farmers, were being discriminated against for not getting some of the black settlement money. The black settlement money was because only white farmers got some of the initial bailout money, not black farmers. That's how twisted it is. So to the white farmers online whining about loss of business, threats to having their farms shut down and shut off, I say, fare thee well, good sirs. Fare thee well. You got what you got. You get what you get. You don't pitch a fit. You voted for Donald Trump, and you know what? He is working you over because the big conglomerates, some I hear are owned, I've read are owned by J.D. Vance or his companies, are about to buy up your land for pennies on the dollar. And you're going to be one picking those blueberries for $11 an hour, 7 days a week, for 10 hours a day. Literally, how you like them apples?
Wait, you mean to tell me Americans don't want to pick lettuce for $2 an hour? No. Now the farmers are crying because they can't find any workers. Ain't that something? After you pushed out all of the immigrant workers who actually did the job, now you're standing around wondering why Chet and Kaylee won't come pick your cabbage in 100-degree weather for $4.75 and a Capri Sun? Y'all really thought folks were going to jump at the chance to break their backs for pennies on a dollar. But you know what's even funnier, y'all? Some of these farmers say the American workers they do get, they don't even last the whole damn day. One guy said somebody walked off by lunch, and honestly, I support it. Listen, I wouldn't be out there picking strawberries and fighting bees and being dehydrated just so that farmer could sell those strawberries for $12.99 a box at Whole Foods. Negative. See, they've been telling you this lie for years. They took our jobs. Nah, Americans, you didn't want those jobs. You just didn't want them to have the jobs either. Now look at you, a field full of crops and not a soul to pick them. Next time, think twice before turning labor into a culture war. Because now, it's just you and your own damn tomatoes.
You can't just say, hey, I'm going to get rid of these people and then look at the farmers that are left without workers.
So first, immigrants are taking your jobs. Now they're not there to work for you. Pick a fucking struggle because you can't have both.
The level of determination that has been dedicated to try to ensure that Black Americans do not thrive is not by accident. And that is the reason why Black farmers are being shut out again. While the Trump administration rolls out financial lifelines for white farmers, Black farmers are being left out, overlooked, and pushed closer to extinction. And if it weren't for people like John Boyd Jr. sounding the alarm, this story would stay buried in the soil. Let's talk about history. Black farmers once owned 14% of United States farmland. Today, less than 1.3%. How, Sway? I'll tell you. Generational land theft, discriminatory USDA policies, and a long history of being denied access to the very tools white farmers receive as default. And now, in 2025, the Trump administration is doubling down, offering federal farm credits, subsidies, and contracts almost exclusively to white farmers. And they're doing it in broad daylight. John Boyd Jr. has entered the chat.
My name is John Boyd, founder and president of the National Black Farmers Association.
John Boyd Jr., a fourth-generation American farmer, is out here telling the truth.
You need to rise up and speak out now, not later, because if we don't, they're going to continue to take this country down a pathway that is going to take decades to get away from.
He says it clearly. It's not that we don't want to farm, it's that the system doesn't want us to succeed. Let's be clear. This is not about charity. This is about fairness, about access, about survival. The federal numbers don't lie. In 2021, the Trump administration handed out $26 billion in pandemic farm relief. Black farmers received 0.01% of this relief fund. And in 2025, with new rounds of credits going out, the same pattern is repeating. White farmers are getting bailed out. Black farmers are getting boxed out. out.
I'm looking for $5 billion in debt relief, and I'm asking the Federal Court of Appeals to reverse the decision and grant 17,000 Black and other farmers of color 120% debt relief.
The stakes are higher than food. This isn't just about crop yields or subsidies. This is about land, food justice, generational wealth, and the right to live and work with dignity. Black farmers aren't asking for special treatment. They're asking for equal footing. We can't keep letting politicians toss our people aside while offering refuge and resources to others. Not because they're in greater danger, but because they fit a preferred political narrative. If we care about sustainability, food security, or economic justice, we cannot leave Black farmers out of the conversation. Their legacy is American history. Their land is American land, and their fight deserves our full support.
I don't care what they say. I'm not going to stop fighting, and you should not stop fighting in this country.
Peace, y'all.
So them farmers really thought we was coming to get in them fields? Is that what I'm reading? Y'all really thought we was coming to get in those fields? It's funny when Black people say stuff like over a year ago when we said that Donald Trump specifically saying that immigrants were coming over here to steal Black jobs meant that him deporting them was supposed to open the door for us to get back in the fields. Of course, immediately, most people said, y'all are reaching. Now here we are. They are literally on Twitter, all over social media, complaining about the fact that we did not come into those fields. I get the unemployment rate is rising rapidly in the Black community. I believe for us, it's about 7% compared to about 4.5% for just about any other demographic. But that also means that 93% of us have jobs. 93% of us are working. And 93% of us were never coming out into those fields to pick your stupid crops. Y'all are supposed to be the pick them up by their bootstraps people, right? Y'all are always the ones talking about earn this, that, hard work, this, that. But then y'all never want to do your own damn work. Y'all brought us over here, all right? We spent hundreds of years doing that stuff for free. We spent another 100 years after that with Jim Crow rights. We fought, bled, died, protested, did everything we possibly could to gain the rights that we have now. We live in this country, we work, we own businesses. We are not going back to your fields. Can y'all just let that shit go? Like, can y'all let it go? It ain't gonna happen. And there's nothing you're gonna do to make it happen. You don't got the numbers, you don't have the manpower. We're not going back. The experiment failed, okay? And now guess what's happening? Food is rotting in the ground because y'all really thought we was coming back out there.
So a brother took the TikTok to inform Black TikTok that there were some Black farmers down in Georgia being harassed by white people down there in Georgia.
Hey family, listen, there is a Black-owned farm here in Georgia that has been being terrorized by white folk.
So I said, I went down this rabbit hole to try to figure out who they were, but he made a separate video to update everybody who they were, right?
Update, I found out it's Tiffany's Farms. Tiffany's Farms is the farm down in Hampton, Georgia, or Barnesville, Georgia. I believe it's Barnesville. She might have two locations, you never know.
So I go on their YouTube page and I scroll down, probably like the third or fourth video down. They made a video responding to him, basically saying that, in little to no words, that he was spreading misinformation.
Farms in deep red Texas are shut down and Donald Trump is the reason. Now, as you know, Donald Trump has shifted ICE from focusing on criminal immigrants to going after easier targets such as job sites to pump his numbers up. But farms are hurting because of this, as many of their workers are either being deported or not showing up for fear of being caught up in these raids. And because of this, they're essentially shut down and no work can be done. Just take a listen to one farmer.
3 weeks it started to slow, but this last week or so has been huge. That's when it's like zero people wanting to come out and
Yeah, zero people. Zero people going to work the farms. And while, yes, these farmers are in the find out phase, we're all going to be in it because they're talking that our food supply is going to be shut down or have major interruptions. And it's not just Texas, it's California and Washington. We are finding out that, yes, immigrants do help the American economy. Immigrants are part of the American fabric. We just didn't realize it till it was too late.
Black people want to be left alone. They don't want revenge. They don't want to replace us, as some extremist groups have said. They just want to live life in peace, the way they want to live. They want family, they want love, and they want to live in a society where they know they belong here. They want society to also know that they belong here. They want to walk out their door and not worry that they're going to be treated unfairly, or they're going to get that look like they're not welcome, or that someone's going to try to touch their hair like a zoo animal. Yes, they want us to fix. They want white people to fix white problems of prejudice and ignorance and all the ways that a wrongful sense of superiority is baked into our society. Yes, they want that to change. Yes, they want acknowledgement for harms done. They don't want us to just explain things away or justify or gloss over things without really listening. But more than anything, they want to be themselves, fully express who they are, love who they are, be with their family, and live in peace. That's it.
Folks, welcome back to my channel. And for years, Americans' agriculture has relied heavily on both domestic and immigrants' labor. Following stricter immigration enforcement and deportation, many farmers have reported difficulty finding enough workers to harvest crops and keep their farms operating. False online, some commentators suggested that Black Americans should step in to replace the missing workforce. However, many Black Americans rejected that expectation, arguing that they should not be viewed as a backup labor force for an industry that has often overlooked their concern about wages, about working conditions, about equal opportunities. First, their response has sparked strong reaction on social media. While some people criticized the decision, others defended it, saying every worker has the right to choose where they should work and under what conditions they should work on. The discussion also bring attention to none other than the founder and president of the National Black Farmers Association, none other than John Boyd Jr., highlighting the historical discrimination they have faced and advocating for greater access to land, to credit, and to government support. The political backdrop has only intensified the debate. Supporters of President Donald Trump, the MAGA people, immigration policies argue that enforcing immigration laws is very, very necessary for border security and the rate of law. Critics argue that labor shortages in agriculture demonstrates the economic challenges that can arise when the workforce is significantly reduced. False. The conversation surrounding Americans' farm is about much more than politics. It raises important questions about labor, about fairness of the Black people, about opportunities, and the future of food production in the United States. Whether you support stricter immigration enforcement or believe different policies are needed, one thing is very, very clear, folks. Solving Americans' agricultural labor challenges will require political solution that benefits both farmers, the white farmers and the black workers. Please, folks, what do you think about this? What are your thoughts of these issues? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Please be respectful in the comments sections below. If you found this analysis impressive, informative, please don't forget to subscribe to this video. Don't forget to like the video, and don't forget to share the video. Folks, until next time, peace, and we'll meet up again in the next episode.